Hi guys. I've come to the point where I'm okay with saying that I don't know necessarily how to style my hair. We have so many options that we think that they then replace our hair completely. When it's like, yes, you can experiment with all of those things, but at the end of the day, this should be your standard. It shouldn't be the complete opposite, where it's like something that covers your hair is your standard. And I think not making the effort to learn my hair, not making the effort to put my own hair on a pedestal, I think is what I am ashamed of. Yes, natural hair is hard. Let's not even come to a point where I'm not even gonna pretend. Natural hair might not be hard to somebody else, but to me, natural hair is a piece of work. But I'm also realizing that it's a piece of work because I haven't come to the point where I've learned it, where I've mastered it. Anything that we don't know in the beginning is a little intimidating. Anything that we don't understand in the beginning, anything that we don't master yet is a little intimidating. For example, swimming. When I first started learning to swim, getting in the deep end was like, what do you mean I'm gonna get to the point where I go to the deep end and my feet don't touch the floor? What are you talking about? When I first started to drive, these are all skills that we learn, right? When I first started to drive, I used to get migraines. Getting into the road and seeing all the people that were doing it with such ease, I could not understand how people would talk about enjoying driving. I love to drive. Why is that one sentence? I could not get to it. And then you do it. And you do it again. You don't give up, right? You don't like just drop everything and say, I guess I'm just never gonna get my license. This is too intimidating. This is too hard, right? I guess you just never say, I guess I'm just never gonna know how to swim because this is just too much. The fear is too much. You keep pushing and you keep going, right? Similar to styling your hair, you keep going and you keep going. I guess another example too, maybe a good example would be makeup. I'm not a beauty person. Okay, if you haven't already noticed, I'm not someone who will sit here for 1 hour, 2 hours beating my face. Heck no. I'm a minimalist when it comes to doing my makeup. If it takes me more than 30 minutes, it shouldn't even be on my face. Because one thing too I can't fathom is at the end of the day, I'm still going to wipe everything off. So why am I spending 2 hours? And no judgment to the girlies. There's some girlies who do that. And when I see it, respect. But for the rest of us who are bare minimums and minimalists, that's just not me. But guess what? I at least need to know how to do my makeup where it's like, this is good enough for me, right? I need to know what works with my shade. I need to know what's going to help with the oiliness, how to blend. If you ask me right now to do my eyebrows, I will eat these eyebrows down. I know how to do my eyebrows perfectly, right? I put a little blush. Sometimes I'll put a little, you know what I mean? But it's all about continuation, just not giving up. And I think that's the same mentality that I'm going to continue to have with my hair, where it's like, yes, it is hard, but you're going to get to a point where it's learned. And when something is learned, it's a little less hard. When you start a new job, you give it maybe day one, it's like, whoa, imposter syndrome. Whoa, am I good enough? What is this person talking about? But year two, right? It's like, you feel a little confident, maybe too confident, by year two. And so I'm sure by maybe year two of my hair, I'm going to be able to do different things with my hair. That's not just this. The only difference between the girlies who slay their natural hair and the girlies who don't is perspective, mentality, consistency. I'm not gonna give up. And love, actually doing it because you love your hair, because you want better for your hair, which ultimately is part of your body. You want to be kinder to your own self. It's an angle of self-care. And so I'm starting to learn that don't be ashamed that you don't know how to style your 4C hair or your 4B or your type 4 hair or your natural hair. We just want to leave it at that. Or your coily hair or whatever hair that you have. But be ashamed that you're okay not knowing how to style it. And finally, and another perspective that I also like to have is that black hair is hard, but maybe it's supposed to be hard. Oh my gosh, how am I going to defend this? Okay, bear with me. Maybe the amount of time and effort that you take to figure out your hair and the love that you apply to your hair, maybe that's the love that you need and that you need to require from the people that are around you, that other people need to give you. Maybe that is God telling us, this is just how much I want you to love yourself. This is how much attention I want you to give, not just to your hair, but to yourself. This is how delicate you are. And if you deviate a little bit this way or a little bit that way, your strands are going to break off. If you skip this wash day or you don't wash your scalp as often, your hair is not going to grow. You know, so maybe that's the amount of attention that I want you as this woman, this Black, beautiful woman who has endured so much, who comes from a generation of people that have endured so much. This is the level of care that I want for you. Maybe thinking about it that way then makes you realize that you are deserving of it. Maybe caring for your hair is a privilege. Having that kind of hair is a privilege. Hair that just needs so much. That's just like, no. Like, I am kind of high maintenance. I'm high maintenance and I'm high value, and I'm not apologetic about it. If you want me to thrive, this is just what you have to do. And just doing that. For example, with our skin, sometimes people who have maybe a little bit of difficult skin, they have to have a certain routine to make their skin glow. And that's a level of self-acceptance and a level of self-care that maybe God is trying to encourage us towards. Where it's like, don't touch my hair. Don't play with my hair is a real thing, because she really is that girl. Being protective, advocating for your hair in a world where it isn't normal to advocate for this, in a world where people kind of lean towards other options that don't really look like this, in a world where she is not number one. She is the, she's over there. She's the stepchild. It's kind of a responsibility, being given this responsibility of this is your baby. Take care of her, and take care of her just how I would take care of you. Love her just like how I would love you. And the same amount of love that you give her and that I give you is the same amount of love that you're going to require from those around you, So anyway, that's just my take. Thanks so much for watching and sticking with me. And I hope to see you on the next one.